Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today, we're going to be watching a video by Todd Valentine, Todd V, who is a pickup artist, who is a dating coach with 20 years experience, whatever. Um, and, his whole business is teaching people how to chat up girls, how to get dates. And that used to work back in the day, if you were around the times of the mystery methods. However, we live in a society that is changed. We live in a society that is now online. We might live in our individual countries. We might exist in whatever town you exist in. However, in reality, you actually live online. You exist online. And slowly, well, not slowly, very quickly, we're going to move into the metaverse. We're going to be living in virtual reality. We're going to be um only be able to communicate to one another online. And the currency online is attention, the currency online is followers. And if you don't have a following, if you don't have the ability to um be seen online, then you won't have any dating opportunities. Even you've already experienced it. If you ever use a dating app like Tinder or Bumble or Hinge or whatever, right? if you aren't if you don't hit the girl's criteria, right? And what is the girl's criteria? It's status, it's fame. Okay, if you don't hit that, the girl's gonna not swipe on you. Right? It doesn't matter what you look like. What does matter is how much fame you have, what level of status that you have in the world online. And the quickest way to do it is by being a social media influencer, by gaining fame online, by creating content, by being a subject matter expert in whatever thing that you are passionate about, uh, garnering a following, building a following, and be seen as someone who is important. Once you can start doing that very quickly, you can start establishing a kingdom. And what type of person has a kingdom? Obviously, a king, right? And every woman, right, in the heart of hearts says, I want to be treated like a princess. I am a queen. I'm a girl bitch. Was it a boss bitch? Girl bitch. I'm a boss bitch. She sees herself as a queen, and every queen therefore wants to end up with a king. So if you have the ability to present yourself as a king with a kingdom, with followers, right, with massive amounts of wealth, right, which what all content creators make. Why do you think content creators even exist? Because it's fucking lucrative. If you understand what you're doing, if you're able to amass a following, you can make a shitload of money. And when you have a shitload of money, you can start building a kingdom. And once you have a kingdom, you'll be crowned a king. And once you are a king, right, you have pussy, right, coming your way all day, every day, right? You'll be so sick of pussy, right, that you wish, oh, no sex today. Oh, do you want? I've already had 3 blowjobs today, right? Let me just enjoy my lunch, okay? You've been awake for fucking 4 hours. You've already had three blowjobs, okay? You'll be drained of cum so much that you kind of wish you were less famous, but then you realize you also have less money. So you'll suffer in silence, by getting your balls drained 24/7 by all these hot women. um and and then you don't need any game. All right, once women recognize what your value is, once women recognize how important you are, right, your game will literally just be sitting in a fucking chair with women just throwing themselves at you. You literally you're gonna have to hire security, right, to beat off these women. Do you think Drake fucking has game? What is Drake's game? Drake's game is I'm Drake. Existing is his game. Okay, and that's the only game that's left. Okay, none of this Rizz shit, invisible Rizz, right? having the ability to say something funny, right? Like, what is charisma? Charisma is in the other person's head. Okay. Um, Charisma is the ability to communicate very effectively. That's what I teach. I'll teach you how to be charismatic. I'll teach you how to unlock your full potential, how to start building a kingdom, how to be an effective leader, and be seen as the person who's going to save humanity, who's going to save the next generation. And as for your reward, you just get a shitload of money. You become a billionaire. You'll become you father hundreds of children. You have thousands of concubines. You have a harem of the most beautiful and attractive women, if you choose to. If you choose to. But let's see what Todd Valentine's advice is on the modern dating scene.
I have a confession. In 20 years as a dating coach, this video is the first time I have ever used the word Rizz, and with any luck, I'll manage to go the rest of my life without ever using it again because I fucking hate the word. However, if people are using it, that is to some extent a good thing because it means people are talking about the science of getting better with women, and I'm a huge fan.
There is no science of getting better with women, right? Because the modern world isn't scientific anymore. The modern world is online. Okay, so if you want to get better with women, you're gonna have to have you have to be seen online. You have to, and the way to be seen online is by amassing fame, is by amassing wealth. The most famous people online who are social media influencers are rich. They're they're wealthy people, and they're already famous in something else, and then leverage that on social media. Okay, and how do we get you to do it? Well, we help you become a subject matter expert. We'll help you build content. We'll help you rise to the top. Right, you'll be working alongside me. You'll be working alongside 100 other kings in my network, building a royal alliance, taking over from world governments, from world leaders, establishing new governments and leaderships across the world, giving people an alternative, giving people a chance to live lives with a ruler who actually cares about them, right? Our leaders have sold us out, right? Whether it's to the World Economic Forum, whether it's to China, whether it's to Russia, right? Like, the West leaders don't give a fuck about you, right? They're filling their pockets, they're lining their pockets. They are plundering you while they're misdirecting you at the same time. Um, and the only thing that's left for you to do is to wake up before AI takes over, is for you to start producing content before AI can start making human level content, um, and start building a following, start building your kingdom, and reaching the upper echelons of society, being an elite yourself, and be seen across the world as a king that you are, so you can live that life of luxury. And that's how you're going to get girls.
Fan of that. So what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm gonna give you an absolute crash course. If this is the first time you've seen a video on game or Rizz or whatever you wanna call it, if this is the first time, these are the absolute most important things that you need to know right now.
So I first came across the pickup community in 2016, 2017, and I started reading books about pickup. I start watching content on pickup in the hopes of, learning. All right, like, I want to be able to date any woman that I ever see. I want to be able to approach any woman that I see at the train station, at the bus station. If I see a woman in a coffee shop, that's so I can approach her in a nightclub, wherever it is, that I'll be able to approach any woman that I ever see. And I learned all this stuff. I learned how to be a pickup artist. I was very successful at it. But nothing beats fame. Okay. If you have status, if you're seen as a king, if a woman knows that you are wealthy, right? If a woman knows that you have the ability to turn your ideas into money, she'll be attracted to you. She'll want to be part of your life. Um she would want to date you, and no pickup line can beat that.
Before I get into the actually useful information that may well change your life, let me vent for just 1 second. This is why I hate the word Rizz. As far as I know, as far as I can tell, the word Rizz is derived from the word charisma, which is a fine thing. However,
Why is charisma important? Charisma is the ability to communicate effectively with charm and confidence. Charisma inspires people. Charisma draws people in. And who possesses charisma? Special people, people who have talent, people who have that je ne sais quoi, people who are touched by God, and people who are of royalty, people who are seen as a king. And that's what I help my clients do. I help them develop charisma so they can become effective communicators, so they can become effective leaders, so they can make content around the things that interest them, the things that make them happy in life. So whatever the thing that they're passionate about, whatever the thing is that they are a subject matter expert in, that they'll be seen as an authority in that field, that they will be seen as the most important person in that field, because that's where all the opportunities go to. That's who becomes rich, right? If you're an effective communicator, if you're charismatic, if you're captivating, if you have the ability to captivate an audience, you're going to get all the opportunities, right? You're going to get brand deals, you're going to get business opportunities. Everybody would want to be your friend. All women would want to date you because you have the ability to inspire via your words.
charisma is not game. It is a tiny slice of game. It is a tiny fraction of what game is.
Game doesn't exist anymore. It's over. Game used to be back in the day when women didn't know anything about any man. Okay, there'll be a few celebrities that she might have a crush on, but there'll be no chance of her interacting with those celebrities. Now she can interact with those celebrities via social media if she's hot enough. Okay, so the hottest women in the world are already interacting with real celebrities, real athletes, and would they rather date a charismatic nobody or Drake? Do you get what I mean? So at the end of the day, your charisma, if you're a nobody, doesn't mean shit. Okay. And he's saying charisma is a small part of game. Charisma is the part where your ability to communicate, right? You can't use game or charisma to attract women anymore. Okay. What you can do is use charisma to attract an audience, right? And once you have an audience, leverage that to attract women. Okay. So it's now a step before the actual thing that you want. Before you could use charisma to just seduce women. Now you have to use charisma to gain an audience. And once you have an audience, you're seen as a king. You can build a kingdom, and then women will flock to you. Okay.
It usually applies to the very start of a game, and if you focus too much on it, you're going to end up with a game style that is very flashy and not very effective. And in fact, when I see examples of Rizz on social media or in videos, that's exactly what I see. I see this, oh, clever line, wow, burn, that was smooth. That's
yeah, because content is made for TikTok now. Okay. Game used to work back in the day. You can go to a bar and have a long conversation with women. Now you try and do that, it should probably fucking me to you. Okay. The thing with Todd is he's trying to teach people the old methods that are archaic now. Okay. We all live online. We all, before when we meet someone, we don't exchange phone numbers, we exchange social media tags, ads. So, and if you have a large following, it's more valuable. So shouldn't you put all your effort into amassing a large following, right? If you're just spending your time building charisma, bettering your game, so you can chat women in bars and clubs, you're just wasting your time, because people like me are just amassing a large following. We're becoming famous. We're rising to the top. We're building kingdoms, and then all we gotta do is just like literally do this, and women will come because they'll know who we are. Do you get what I mean? Everyone knows who Drake is. People flock to Drake. They go to his house, to his parties, in the hopes of fucking him. Right? That he doesn't need any game. He just needs to whip his cock out, and people will start sucking it. Do you get what I mean? So if you're learning game, if you're learning pickup, you're just wasting your time. I understand game. I understand pickup. Right? I've studied it. I've practiced it. It's great. What it is good for, I'll give game. I'll give the pickup artist this. It's good for practice. Practice building some level of confidence, but it will never get you any results.
Not what game is. All of that upfront stuff is simply designed to get the girl's attention so that you can form a genuine connection. And there's a lot of things that come later on after that heavy charisma phase. Now, you could make the argument
the connection, as much as you want to build a connection with a girl, that it's never your decision to build that connection. What you can do is produce a lot of content based on your personality, showcasing the best parts of your personality, showcasing what you are all about, showcasing the life that you live, putting that content out there, and then women will see that content and then decide themselves whether they want to pursue you or not. Okay, the way the dating market's moving to, the new way of game or pickup is women are just the choosers. Okay, and the same way how you scroll Amazon, right, to buy whatever item. Like, imagine if you want to buy a fucking pan to make a steak in, right? You go on Amazon, you say frying pan for steaks, okay, and then you get like a list of 100, and then she'll scroll down, she'll see reviews, she'll see, okay, this has had 1,000 reviews, all 5-star, and this other pan's had 500 reviews, all 4-star. I'll choose the one with the more positive reviews, and then she'll just buy that pan. Okay, and it's the same way how these women are going to select their men in the future. In the next few years, this is what's going to start happening, and they're all going to choose, and you know, all the pickup guys, all the red pill guys. You know, one thing that I agree on, say they rather share an alpha than get married to a beta, right? And what you're going to have is, you know, you're going to have an alpha male, right? He's going to be dating 20 girls, right? And there's going to be a low life like you who's got 0. Okay. And what is an alpha male? Alpha male is the person who's got the highest status. An alpha male is a person who is the most famous and most recognized name. Okay. And what you need to do is make sure your name is in that conversation. What you need to do is make sure that you are seen as somebody who is important. So you need to start presenting yourself as a king. And what I help my clients do is build a kingdom, so they are seen as a king, so they rise to the top. And naturally, if they have a kingdom, they'll be seen as a king, and then all the dating opportunities will go their way.
Argument that Rizz is just a synonym for game and it doesn't really mean charisma, even though it derived from that. But if that's the case, just fucking use the word game. It's a fine word. Okay, rant over. Also, one last thing. Whenever I hear the word Rizz, I can't help but think of the word jizz, which is kind of a weird association.
Okay, that's very creepy. That's very creepy. When I think of Rizz, I think of jizz. The thing with Todd Valentine is like he spent his whole life building this one skill set that's outdated now. It doesn't work anymore. However, he's still building his fame. He's making content online. He's gaining a following. So you choosing to follow him you're helping him achieve his goal of building his fame so he can make more money, so he can have higher status in society, so he can be building his own kingdom and be seen as a king, right? But following his guidance, he's not going to teach you, you know, what he's doing. What he's doing is building a YouTube channel, building fame, building a fan base, because that's your only last thing that you're able to leverage to make money. AI is coming. AI is going to displace most people. Most people are going to be unemployed because of AI. 8% of the world. You watching, if you don't have a rich fucking parent, you're fucked. Okay, pure and simple. Like you're gonna be fucked. AI won't be able to yet. They're not gonna be able to do this yet, but they're not going to be able to make content on the level that a human can, because they're not going to be able to make this connection. They're not going to be able to, you know. I mean, aren't you more comfortable knowing that I'm a human talking to you rather than if this was an AI bot talking to you? I mean, that'd be very weird, right? That you're sitting there at home watching AI, but you know, we're growing a generation of people who that will be very normal to them, right? So this is the last generation of people. This is the last opportunity that you have to start making your own content, to start building your own fan base, because in the next 5 years, people will they won't care if they're watching an AI bot or if they're watching a real human. And AI is going to get so good that new entrants into the market aren't going to be able to establish themselves and make a fan base.
Anyway, on with the video. So putting all that aside, what is Rizz and how do you get Rizz? Well, charisma or attractiveness or suaveness or je ne sais quoi, or however you want to think of this general idea, it's not some disembodied quality that you either have or don't have. It's actually tied to very specific behaviors that you do. And that's the good news, because that means it's not something you either have or don't have. It's something you can learn. It's something you can develop.
Yeah, I agree. Charisma is definitely learnable. It's a skill that you can learn. It's very important that you learn charisma. It's very important that you're able to communicate effectively, that you're able to captivate an audience, that you're able to speak off the top of your head without preparing anything, that you're able to freely express who you are, right? At the end of the day, right, like a lot of these pickup artists, they teach game, they teach all these tips and tactics, and it's not really the person that you are deep inside. Don't you just want to be accepted for who you are? Don't you, you know, wouldn't you rather just present yourself as how you are right now and just get attention from women that way? And you know, if you were who you are right now, okay, and you go to a bar, nobody would want to date you. But if you were who you are and everybody knew you across the world and you were famous for whatever reason, people would want to date you because you're famous. Okay, so in people's psychology, they recognize brand names, they recognize things that they are familiar with. So it is in your best interest to express content around an idea, around the subject that you are passionate about, because it shows the thing that you are passionate about. It is in your interest to be able to express yourself fully and charismatically to your fan base, build a fan base and lead them to a better life. Make sure that their life is more prosperous and benefit them in whatever way possible, so that they live better lives. Because the leaders, yeah, because people like Todd Valentine are just going to tell them to learn, you know, pay him for his fucking boot camps, so he can teach them game. Game doesn't, nobody cares about game anymore, right? No, it doesn't work anymore. What is game? Game in essence is just your ability to communicate effectively, okay? And the person who is more famous will always be the person that is less famous, no matter what level of game it is. That you will never be able to beat Drake in getting pussy unless you are more famous than Drake. And that is the truth. That is the truth. Okay. Fame beats everything. And if you want a good dating life, if you want to live that luxurious life, have women queuing up to give you a fucking blowjob, then I suggest you go to royalinstinct.com, work with me, and I'll teach you how to become famous. How to have the dating life that you always dreamt of.
And basically, there are two sort of branches of developing this aspect of yourself. One is what we call inner game, and one is what we call outer game. Inner game is the set of beliefs you have about yourself, the world, and women that then govern your actions and govern the way you carry yourself and what you do in the world. The outer game are specific techniques you can do. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to give you...
I mean, like I said earlier, like I spent a lot of time learning game. So I'm very familiar with this concept of outer game and inner game. And none of it fucking matters, right? Inner game is just a state of you being very positive and happy about yourself. And outer game is the ability for you to lead a woman, lead the conversation, right? It's just that leadership abilities. If you present yourself as a king, and if she recognizes, if you're already famous and she recognizes who you are, the leadership is already put upon you. So therefore your outer game is taken care of. And because you know that you're a king and that your outer game is taken care of, ineffectively your inner game is taken care of too. Therefore you have total reign, and all you gotta do is just vibe with the person that you're vibing with. And if you feel like she wants to fuck you, and if you want to fuck her, it will naturally happen. There is no game once you're a king. Okay. It's the amount of time it takes to learn game and the amount of time it takes to learn to become a king, to build your kingdom. It's easier to build your kingdom than to have game, because when you have a kingdom, you're building your fame and you're building leverage and you're building an audience and a following. So then you can go up to a random girl and she doesn't know who you are, but you give her your Instagram and she'll follow you and she'll see that you've got 20,000 followers, 30,000 followers, 100,000 followers, whatever it is that you build up to. And she'll just be like, that's interesting. Who the fuck is this guy? And she'll take time out of a day to learn about you, right? Whereas if you have just game, okay, you exchange numbers, and then she still doesn't know who the fuck you are. You're just this very charismatic guy for like half an hour on a Friday night when she's had a couple drinks and she's a bit buzzed. She might not even remember you the next day. But if you exchange details with her and you've got a large following, she'll naturally be drawn to you. She wants to, she'll become like a fucking private investigator, like James Bond, wanting to know who the fuck you are. And if you do it that way, like, you'll never have any problems attracting a mate, attracting a date ever again.
3 specific inner game techniques that are absolutely critical, and then 3 specific outer game techniques that you absolutely need. So
you have a choice. You can either use Todd Valentine's method of learning 3 inner game techniques, 3 outer game techniques, right? Practicing it, humiliating yourself, or you can just start making content around something that's very easy and natural to you, building a kingdom, be seen as a king, and then women will naturally, they'll just find you. Okay, like once you start making content, women will watch your content and they start messaging you privately wanting to date you, because they understand that you are taking action in life, that you are a king in life, that you are someone who's important, someone who's building a kingdom, somebody who is willing to take risks in life, and that's what women find attractive. Because with game, you're starting from zero every time. With fame, it's a compounding investment strategy. Okay, so you can play game like a dodgy dealer starting from zero, like fucking I don't even know, like a fucking peasant. Or you can start like Warren Buffett, who's got rolling investments all the time. But the choice is yours. If you want to learn game, if you want to spend most of your time humiliated, being rejected by women, go listen to Todd Valentine. If you want to live the life of a king, if you want women just queuing up to fuck you, if you want an easy dating life, build your own kingdom, go to royalinstinct.com, start networking with the kings that I have there, start networking with me. I will teach you how to build a kingdom, how to become a king, how to become a subject matter expert, and be famous online. Because truly, it's if you're not building a kingdom, you're going to get left behind. And very soon, once we are all plugged into the metaverse, nobody will ever want to date you ever again. But until then, take care, see you later, and bye.